From paying homage to legends to fighting against injustice, this is how NFL players got their jersey number. Peyton Manning wore number 18 as a tribute to his older brother Cooper. Manning revealed that Cooper had to give up playing football due to injury during his freshman year at Ole Miss. Poor guy didn't only have to watch Peyton live out his dreams, but he also had to watch his younger brother Eli do the same. Peyton wasn't about to let his brother wallow in misery. Instead, he decided to honor his brother's unrealized dreams by repping the same number that Cooper wore on his jersey. While Peyton Manning was paying homage to his brother, this next quarterback was paying homage to an absolute legend. Jared Goff wears the number 16 simply because his father suggested it when he was 7 years old. His father told him to wear the number because his favorite QB was Joe Montana, who donned number 16 for the 49ers. At the time, Goff didn't have much knowledge about Montana or the significance of the number, but he was like, who the hell is Joe Montana? But he decided to embrace the suggestion anyway, and since then, the number 16 has become Goff's chosen identifier on the field. There was a time when Joe Montana was considered the all-time greatest quarterback. But this next quarterback is currently proving that he has more talent than any other quarterback ever. Originally, Mahomes had worn the number 5 during his high school and college days at White House and Texas Tech. However, after joining the Kansas City Chiefs, Mahomes discovered that number 5 was already claimed by the team's kicker, Cairo Santos. So he opted to unleash his unworldly talents on the NFL while wearing the number 15 instead. Damn! Who would have thought that Mahomes would have to take a backseat to a kicker? But believe it or not, Tom Brady has an almost identical story. Tom Brady wore number 12 because his preferred number 10 was already taken by the Patriots punter Lee Johnson. Brady had worn number 10 during his college days at Michigan and wanted to continue wearing it in the NFL. But since he was a rookie, he had to shut up and take what was available. But you can be assured, when he joined the Bucs, he wasn't going to be giving up his number to a damn punter. Jeez. If I was a quarterback entering the draft, I would be praying to get picked by a team whose kicker is wearing my lucky number. I'd be following Big Time Company. Speaking of Big Time Company, Travis Kelce wears the number 87 as a tribute to his older brother Jason Kelce, who is an offensive lineman for the Philadelphia Eagles. Travis explained that the Kelce legacy began in 1987 when his older brother was born, and he wears the number 87 to honor that milestone. Now, isn't that adorable? But what's not adorable is that you haven't liked this video or subscribed to the channel. So go do that now, so we can have a fresh start like this next superstar. Lamar Jackson wears the number 8 as a symbol of new beginnings. During his college days at Louisville, he initially wanted to wear the number 7, which he wore in high school since his favorite player as a kid was Michael Vick. However, Reggie Bonnafon, the then starter at Louisville, already had that number. So Lamar asked his mom what number she thought he should wear, and she suggested that the number 8 represented a new beginning in the Bible and that he should embrace it as he moved into the next stage of his life. Little did Lamar Jackson know that his fresh start would lead him to becoming the highest paid player in NFL history. And this next player clearly respects history because he took it into deep consideration when choosing his jersey number. When Christian McCaffrey arrived in San Francisco, all his preferred numbers were taken. Number 22 was already being worn by Jeff Wilson, and number 5, which he wore in college, was claimed by Trey Lance. McCaffrey's next selection would have been 21, however that number had been worn for decades by 49ers legend Frank Gore, and therefore McCaffrey didn't want to touch it. He had the opportunity to reach out to Gore to request the number, but out of respect for the former player's accomplishments and the owner's admiration for Gore, he decided against it. Instead, McCaffrey chose the number 23 simply because he liked it. One could say that McCaffrey made a respectful decision. And that up next is a player who was fully pissed when he couldn't have the jersey number he wanted. Larry Fitzgerald wanted to wear number 1. Unfortunately for him, that number is reserved strictly for quarterbacks. But as we all know, no one can stop the great Larry Fitz. So he chose to wear 2 number 1s on his jersey instead, resulting in him donning the number 11. Take that, NFL. Larry Fitzgerald had some of the best hands in NFL history. And our next player had the best hair in NFL history. In high school, Palomalu's older brothers all wore the number 41 and it held sentimental value to him. However, when he joined USC, he was assigned the number 43, previously worn by Grant Pearsall, a safety he respected. Although Palomalu contemplated changing his number during his college years, he ultimately embraced 43. When he transitioned to the NFL with the Pittsburgh Steelers, the team's equipment manager, Rogers Frey-Vogel, received a request from USC's equipment manager to assign Palomalu his college number. And Troy Palomalu wore 43 throughout his entire professional career. And while we're on the subject of Steelers defensive backs, let's look at why Ike Taylor chose his jersey number. Throughout his football career, Ike Taylor maintained a mentality of working 24/7, giving his all in every aspect of the game. In high school, he wore number 9, and in college, he wore 27. However, upon entering the NFL, Taylor wanted to stand out and chose the number 24 as a reminder to himself to never stop working his butt off. Though Taylor never had it easy. Up next is a player who had to face his demons with courage. Darren Waller wears the number 12 as a symbol of sobriety and to support those who are in recovery from addiction. Waller faced his own battle with alcohol addiction at a young age and learned the significance of the number 12, which represents the 12 steps utilized in rehabilitation programs. By wearing the number 12, Waller aims to raise awareness and support for those in recovery, sharing a message of hope and resilience. We're proud of Darren Waller for his message and his journey. Next is a player that showed out in his first training camp. After being drafted in 2004, Kotchery initially didn't have a preference for a specific number. However, during training camp, Jets coach Herm Edwards consistently referred to Kotchery as 89 whenever he made impressive plays. Edwards was like, "There goes 89 again. Loving 89. Boy, this 89 is something special." This continued throughout camp, and by the end, Kotchery's college number 82 became available. But feeling the influence of Edwards' frequent mentions of 89, Kotchery decided to embrace the number, thinking that the coach didn't know what the hell his name was but loved him as the number 89. Kotchery would have been happy to take any number as long as it got him playing time. But up next is a player who put a lot of thought and consideration into choosing his jersey number. Emmanuel Sanders revealed that he is a superstitious person and the number 88 holds significance for him. The number 8 is a symbol of infinity, and Sanders identified with the number because it never stops, just like him. So as a receiver, Sanders opted for 88 in order to wear 2 infinities. Ironically, Sanders switched to number 10 when he began playing for the Broncos. But even though he wasn't wearing his infinities, he still never stopped. And eventually he won a Super Bowl with Denver. Our next player has had a complete opposite career trajectory. He won a Super Bowl, then went to Denver. We're talking about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson wears the number 3 as a representation of his connection to his faith. Prior to joining the NFL, Wilson wore the number 16 during his college career at North Carolina State and Wisconsin. However, when he was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks, Wilson decided to change his jersey number to 3. The number 3 holds significance for Wilson as it symbolizes the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit in his Christian faith. Wilson's move to Denver hasn't quite gone according to plan. So far, he's been about as good as hot garbage. But hopefully, with faith and hard work, he turns it around, so he can become a Broncos legend like this next player. Von Miller wears the number 58 as a tribute to the late Hall of Famer Derek Thomas. When Miller was drafted as the number 2 overall pick in 2011, he was prohibited from wearing numbers in the 40s as a linebacker. And many draft experts and analysts had drawn comparisons between Miller and Thomas during his college days at Texas A&M. So Miller thought to himself, if I want to be as great as Derek Thomas, maybe I should wear his jersey number. So he went with 58 and managed to exceed the lofty expectations put on him. Speaking of paying tribute to NFL legends, LaDainian Tomlinson had 2 favorite running backs growing up, Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith. Sanders wore number 20 and Smith wore 22. Tomlinson wanted to find a middle ground between the 2 legendary running backs and chose the number 21. By selecting this number, Tomlinson aimed to capture the qualities and skills he admired in both Sanders and Smith. Man, LT could fly out there. What a stud. Speaking of studs, this next linebacker came from a tough childhood and became one of the greatest players of all time. Back when Ray Lewis was in high school, he wasn't the biggest kid out there, so he used a deck of cards for motivation and physical training. Each card represented a number of push-ups he had to perform. For example, if he pulled a 5, he had to do 5 push-ups, and if he pulled a king, that's 10 push-ups. And every single day he would pull each and every card from the deck and plow his way through an insane amount of push-ups. And that's how he became such a jacked-up super beast. So Ray Lewis decided to wear the number 52 on his jersey, which represents a deck of cards. Ray Lewis was sensational. He made Sundays thrilling, especially when his Ravens went head-to-head with the Steelers, who had some pretty good linebackers of their own. Lamar Woodley wore the number 56 because it was given to him by his high school coach when he was a freshman playing on the varsity team. Initially, Woodley didn't have a choice in selecting his number. However, as he began playing as an outside linebacker and learned about the significance of the number, he embraced it wholeheartedly. Woodley discovered that Lawrence Taylor, a legendary linebacker, had also worn the number 56. Inspired by Taylor's fierce style of play, Woodley aimed to emulate his impact on the field, obliterating opponents throughout his career. Paying tribute to a legend like Lawrence Taylor makes sense. The guy is a legend. But at number 2, we have a player that chose his jersey number to stand up to an injustice particularly close to his heart. DeAndre Hopkins wears jersey number 10 as a powerful statement against racial injustice. In a tweet, he revealed that his decision is deeply rooted in personal experience. Hopkins shared the story of his cousin who received a harsh 10-year prison sentence for possessing only $600 worth of drugs. Damn, 10 years? That's not fair at all. Hopkins aims to raise awareness and spark conversations about the urgent need for change. D-Hop definitely keeps it real. And last but definitely not least is a player that wears an infamous number on his uniform. Packers tackle David Bakhtiari wears the number 69 on his jersey. And one time a young fan tweeted out to him to ask why he chose to wear 69. Bakhtiari's response was simply, "Ask your mother." Enough said. There you have it. That is how NFL players got their jersey numbers. If you liked this video, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel. Also, check out the other video currently on your screen to keep watching our NFL related content.